Hey guys, it's Bob with Cruise and Brews, and I want to give you an update on the power situation. But before I do, let me give you a little history. I have been RVing since 2013, and it seems like every time I go out, I encounter a situation that is unexpected. And when I do, there's a couple of steps that I follow. The first is don't panic. Whatever's gone wrong, somebody has experienced it before. They have figured out, gotten out of the situation, and so will you. Number two, assess it. What do you have? What do you don't have? So that's what I did last night. I assessed the situation. I had the tracker, which I could start up and go and drive and get help if I needed to. I had people around me. I could have relied on them if I needed to. The motorhome had power. I could start it up. I could drive out of there. The slide out was in, so there was no immediate danger that I was in. I had a good, the only thing I didn't have was 12 volt power. Everything else was working. Number two, are you in immediate or long-term danger? I wasn't in any immediate danger, but I was in long-term, I wouldn't say danger, but uncomfortable situation. I didn't want to have another cold night like I did last night. To get down to 42, it's predicted to get down even colder the next 2 nights. So I needed to correct that. I wasn't going to do it last night in the dark, so I went to bed. Woke up this morning, looked for a campsite, found one with power, made a reservation, got checked in early, got set up. Once I was here, I was still a little bit nervous about the situation. So what I did was, to calm myself down, I made breakfast. I had bacon, eggs, hash browns, orange juice, coffee, avocado. So I had a good breakfast. Filled up my belly and then decided, I'm still not sure what's wrong, but I do have shore power. So why don't I clean? So I have to clean this quite often. I used to think that hair from the dogs was my nemesis, but it has an ally now. And that ally is desert dust. It's everywhere. It gets in. It covers everything. So I'm constantly cleaning. I did that. Then I decided I am going to go back and tackle the situation, find out what's wrong. So I did. Looked all around. I checked the battery again. It was still showing empty. Wasn't sure what was going on. Got out the literature, read it. I'm not good at electric. I don't really understand amps and volts and ohms and all that stuff. I don't understand it. But I do know enough to be dangerous. So I started poking around. Now in an access panel, which I just discovered a couple of months ago when I was winterizing this RV, and I just discovered it because it is a sealed access panel that's screwed closed, or was at the time. And that's where the low point drains are. There's a lot of electrical stuff in there. I don't know what all that stuff does. But I was looking at it and just seeing if there's anything obvious. I could see that there was a converter. And this thing takes the 110 power and converts it to 12 volt power, and then sends that 12 volt power to the batteries. Well, I thought, well, maybe that's the problem. Maybe there's a break there because I have 110 power. I don't have any 12 volt power. So I looked at that converter pretty intensely. And what I found out is it came unplugged. I didn't even know the thing plugged in, but it does. So it wasn't getting any 110 power to convert. So that's what happened. Went over the last couple of weeks as I'm driving around, that thing must have rattled itself out and become unplugged. So I plugged it back in. Checked it moments later, batteries are charging. A little while later, batteries are full. I now have 110 power. I can't tell you how many times I've turned these lights on and off just to be amazed. Wow, I have light. So while the situation with the batteries felt dire, it wasn't as bad as what I'd made it up in my head. Something came unplugged. I just needed to find out what that was. And I did. It was a converter. Once that converter had 110 power, I was back in business. Slide out's out. Sun's out. Oh, by the way, when all this was going on this morning, it was raining. I wasn't going anywhere anyway. And I certainly wasn't going to go into the Narrows in Zion National Park because flash flood is always a concern. So, I had time to assess it. I had time to work it out and had time just to relax and take it easy, which I did. So, problem was pretty simple. Plugged it back in. Everything's working. So, follow these steps. 1, don't panic. 2, realize that other people have been in it. You'll get out of it, and they've gotten out of it. You'll get out of it too. 3rd, see what you got. Assess what you have, what you don't have. 4th, assess if you're in any short-term or long-term danger. If you are, correct that situation immediately. Once you've got it corrected, calm down. You're safe. Take it easy. And then casually, quietly, methodically, just kind of go through what you know and what you don't know and poke around a little bit. And 9 times out of 10, you're going to find the solution, which I did. So I'm back on track. Sun's out. People are moving about, as you can tell, because there's a car that's going to go by me right now. And we're back in business. So keep those things in mind, and happy trails.